everyone, this is Dr. Therese with Healthy Choice Family Chiropractic, and thank you for joining us for our Tee Off to Good Health webinar. So golf gets you outside into the fresh air. A day at the golf course can wear you out and predispose you to injury. If you're like most people who play golf, you don't ride in a golf cart on the course, you wear metal spike golf shoes, and you enjoy being outside in the fresh air. Golfing clears your mind. As a sport, golfing is good enough to count for all the exercise you need in a day, according to the Surgeon General. All that walking is good for you. However, even though the game looks easy, the sport plays undue demand on different parts of the body. And what we know is that golfers do injure themselves. In one Australian survey of 1,634 amateur golfers, 17.6% of them suffered from an injury in the previous year. The most common injury was to the lower back, and it occurred 25% of the time. Of all the different parts of the golf swing, it was the follow-through phase that was most likely to be the part when the injury occurred. The golfers most susceptible to develop the lower back pain were those who had previous history of lower back injury. And golf injuries affect different parts of the body too. Low back injuries are the most common injury location, occurring 18% of the time, due to the golf swing and occurs on impact. How much you practice, how old you are, how much you warm up, and handicaps affect whether or not you will get a low back injury during golfing. The second most common type was the elbow and forearm at 17%, then the foot ankle 13%, and finally the shoulder upper arm at 12%. 46% of all injuries occurred during the golf swing. In Australia, scientists found that in 1 year's time, golfers had about a 15.8% chance of having an injury. They calculated this to be about 1 to 2 injuries for every 3,000 hours playing golf. Most injuries happened over time, and they reoccurred frequently. So you may be wondering what's causing all these injuries, especially because golf looks harmless, right? Well, the type of golf swing that appears to be the most damaging is the full recoil golf swing, or the classic swing. Because of the correlation to injuries, golfers developed the modern swing, which is a restricted backswing type of swing. It is believed that the restricted backswing may reduce the number of potential injuries, yet the golfer can still perform quite well on the greens. Chiropractors at the New York Chiropractic College in Seneca Falls tested out this idea, and here's what they found. First, they found that shortening the stroke to the new modern method did not affect stroke accuracy. The velocity of the club head was not significantly reduced with the modern method. The modern style of swing decreased the activation of the muscles in the trunk during the swing. And the shoulder muscles were more active, 250 milliseconds before the impact to 500 milliseconds after the impact. This means the modern swing can prevent back injuries better than the classic swing. However, it may also promote risk for injuries to the shoulder. So, do you stretch before you play golf? Well, stretching may not be enough. One Brazilian chiropractor decided to make sure that golfers had every opportunity to play their best game, no matter what, and then tested to see if his idea worked. He tested 2 groups of about 20 golfers, giving Group 1 a stretching program, and Group 2 chiropractic adjustments plus the same stretching program. The chiropractic adjustments were given on any part of the spine that were not moving as they should, or that were subluxated. The treatments lasted 4 weeks, and then the golfers were tested on their fall swing performance. They were given about a 4-week care plan. Average age, handicap, and initial swing were comparable in both groups at the end of the study. However, here's the great news. The golfers in Group 2 improved in all phases of their golf swing, while Group 1 did not. The improvement did not occur until at least the 4th chiropractic adjustment. What this study tells us is that the dysfunctional vertebrae need some time to stay corrected. One adjustment is definitely not the answer and not enough. This makes sense if you think of it like this. How many weeks or months have the vertebrae had the chance to become and stay dysfunctional? An adjustment restores their proper alignment, but several adjustments remind the vertebrae, like wheels on a bike, of where they should be in place. So we talked a little bit about what's happening to your spine or to your back during golf, but what's happening to your feet when you play golf? As a golfer, your stance will make or break you. Thus, what's happening with your feet impacts your game overall. Here's an example of different types of arches in the feet can affect you or how they can affect you. Let's say you have a collapsed arch, which means your foot is essentially flat. When you walk, more of your foot touches the ground than what should touch. The flat foot also turns the ankle inward as you walk. This is called overpronation. Every foot should pronate a little bit, but if there's too much pronation, then the foot muscles easily get strained and stressed. They become targets for foot disorders such as plantar fasciitis, Achilles tendonitis, bunions, and calluses. An arch in the foot could be high, medium, or low, which would be flat feet. Those who have high and medium arches don't suffer from overpronation, but they can still end up with tired muscles in the feet from a lot of walking on the golf course. And it's tired muscles in the feet that then can predispose you to foot disorders also. Foot disorders don't stop at the feet though. Feet are just the foundation of the skeleton. So when the feet are not right, the rest of the skeleton can become misaligned. For example, with the flat foot, the ankle turns inward. Once the ankle turns inward, the knees will also rotate inward. They might even become more knock-kneed. This in turn makes an alteration in the position of the hips, and the alignment of the ball of the hip is now placed in a biomechanically incorrect position in the hip joint. Every part of the skeleton is connected. Once the hip joint goes out, the pelvis will follow, and then the low back will be next, and then from there on up. So how your foot grips the ground on and off the golf course matters big time. So now let's look at how chiropractic can improve your golf game. Chiropractors work with patients to ensure their foot stance is correct via the art of orthotics. Orthotic inserts, and we use foot leveler orthotics, are extra inserts that go into your shoe and have the potential to alter your foot positioning in space so it's biomechanically correct. The orthotic inserts replace the usual insole that comes with a pair of shoes. So what chiropractors are able to do is they're able to customize orthotics. So we use foot levelers to create a custom orthotic to your foot specifically to make sure that you have the best possible match for your foot comfort and function. Many of our patients note that as soon as they put their custom orthotics in to their shoes, running shoes, be it golf shoes, they notice their game and their movement improve. This is not surprising because performance in any sport is dependent on how well your muscles are balanced and how ergonomically correct the body skeleton is, and the minimization of any effects of any body imperfection. The orthotics improve the ergonomics and minimize any body imperfections. The muscles then become more balanced as a result of these two things. So now let's look at what studies have shown on orthotics in golf. In Minnesota at their chiropractic college, chiropractors measured what happened to a golfer's swing and game performance after they wore custom orthotics that are flexible all day long for 6 weeks and then playing 9 rounds of simulated golf. They found that the golfer's swing speed increased by up to 7%, which is between 3 and 5 miles per hour. This is equal to adding another 15 yards of ball travel distance. This increase is quite significant for the tour player who can place higher in the rankings, or for the recreational golfer who is just looking at having bragging rights over their friends for the next few days. The use of orthotics also eliminated the fatigue from playing for the entire day. And like I mentioned before, we offer at our office custom foot levelers orthotics, which really help in the same manner. In another study, the custom-made flexible orthotics were found to be effective in enhancing balance and proprioception and reduce the fatigue associated with playing the 9 holes of golf. The reason why there is so much fatigue with the 9 holes of golf is because the act of playing golf promotes changes in the stance, balance, and proprioception, which is just where your body is in space or where your joints are in space. So you may be wondering, well, do elite golfers play any different than amateurs? Calgary researchers found that even the professional golfers still make mistakes in their form when they play golf. They may bend to the side too aggressively, over-rotate their spine, not rotate their lead hip enough, or use far too much muscle action in the swing. Sometimes they may even carry their own golf clubs, which is enough to throw off your body ergonomics alone. One of the major differences between elite golfers and amateurs is their lead knee is more flexible than amateurs. This is how professional golfers prevent knee injuries during a golf swing. Wrist injuries are also more common in golfers, with 67% of the injuries occurring in the lead hand and about a third of them affecting the ulnar side, which is the pinky finger side of the wrist. When the pinky finger side of the wrist or ulnar side was affected, 87% of the time it occurred in the leading wrist. When the wrist injury occurs on the other side, it also happens in the side corresponding to being the leading wrist. So basically it occurs on both sides. In the shoulder muscle group, the muscles that are used the most during the golf swing are serratus anterior, rhomboids, levator scapula, and rotator cuff. So basically the muscles that really are underneath, around, above, kind of all around that shoulder blade, even in between the shoulder blades. Common injuries to golfers or of the shoulder include rotator cuff tear, joint instability, subacromial impingement, joint arthrosis, which is basically arthritis, and shoulder instability. Don't let these potential injuries suppress you from your desire to play golf. In one study, a chiropractic adjustment was a saving grace in a golfer with shoulder disorders. As soon as one adjustment occurred, it changed 3 different ranges of motion that occurred during the golf swing, and the muscles became better overall. Chiropractic does a lot for spinal motion and muscle function. We also know that resistance training can help with golf too. There's a right way and wrong way to swing a golf club. When the wrong way is utilized, muscle soreness and injury can result. Chiropractors at the Canadian Memorial Chiropractic College in Toronto created a program in 2006 to give golfers the conditioning they needed via weight resistance training to prevent injuries. They included golf-specific weight training exercises, including upper body strength exercises, while standing that could help stabilize the hips and trunk during the golf swing. If this is something that you're interested in, you can definitely let us know, and we can make sure to give you some different exercises and set up a specific program that would be great for you to help with your overall golf game and help to prevent those injuries. So if you play golf or are looking to continue to play golf, prevent injuries, and improve your overall game, then you need to visit our office. You can call to schedule an appointment at 616-426-8500 today. And if you mention this webinar, we will offer your first visit, which includes a consultation with myself, Dr. Therese, an examination of your spine, and any other areas where you do have health concerns, neurological scans, and spinal x-rays for just $27. We look forward to seeing you soon and working with you to improve your golf game and your overall health. Thank you for joining us. And also, if you do have any questions about this webinar, or anything else regarding to your health or how we can help to improve your health overall, definitely don't hesitate to give us a call. Our number is right there on the screen. Thanks for joining us.